friends and fellow VEDSies. This one is more for the VEDSies than anything. I'm going to do my week 1 recap of some of my favorite videos that y'all have made this month. For those of you who don't know, we are making a video every single day in the month of September. It's pretty crazy, and it's hard to believe that we already have 1 week under our belts here. So that y'all know, today that you're seeing this, I'm going to be leaving town just for a couple of days for a couple of road gigs that the Kiss band are doing this weekend. So tomorrow, I don't know what exactly I'm going to do. It's going to have to be, I'm not even going to bring my laptop or all my editing stuff. So tomorrow you're just going to get like a little one-taker from me from out on the road somewhere. Not sure what I'll throw together there. Well, I'll get right started here. I'm going to start with Alicia here. Now, you know that whenever I'm doing one of these week recap videos, I always choose Alicia's covers or original songs. I like her songs. They're really good. This week is no exception. I really liked My Heart is a Broken Compass. You know, I was just thinking yesterday, before that video went up, I was thinking, oh, I haven't talked to Alicia about the ukulele lately. Is she out of that phase maybe? But I am very happy that she is not. Hopefully we get a couple more of those, but that was such a good little tune, as they always are. I loved it. And I always love too that from you, once we get into VEDS, you're like me, Alicia, that you really like the changing of the seasons. I get a little bit weighed down by the sameness of a season after a while. Once we get into September, I'm like, okay, the days continue to be hot. Can we have some fall yet? And then the season starts to change. So we always get videos from you as the season changes into fall, and we get to see you just enjoying nature and being excited for what the new season will have in store. So that's always really nice to see. Tessa, I just got finished watching the VEDSies as D&D characters video, and I am so stoked about it. I love my character model that you made. It's so cool. I want to get the little character dudes and put them on a shelf somewhere. Wouldn't that be awesome to just have the VEDSies group? But it was so cool, the effort you put in to taking all our little personality traits into consideration and turning them into these characters. I've tried to start D&D projects a couple of times. But yeah, in character creation, I always wind up being a bard, because on the one hand, it's an obvious answer for me, but on the other hand, I wouldn't want to be anything else. So, yeah, that is very, very accurate. Tessa, I also really appreciated you breaking down the labor dispute that's going on with SAG-AFTRA and all those things. I'd read the sort of buzzwords and the article headlines and stuff, but I didn't really go too in depth into that, so it was cool to hear a little bit more about what they're fighting for, really. And I know that people are always saying, listen, we're treating it like it's millionaires versus billionaires, but these are not millionaires. They're people just trying to make ends meet. They're often people who don't make enough in their job to pay rent. These are not millionaires. But let's say it was millionaires. Let's say it was millionaires versus billionaires. I still will always choose to support the millionaires. Because when people are like, oh, wow, those actors, it's the millionaires versus the billionaires. Why are you openly siding with the billionaires? Anyway, it's fine. Just, it's a weird position to take, in my opinion. For Abby, I've really enjoyed your theme. I didn't really do a theme this year. There have been some good themes. If I'm doing a theme at all, it might be on things I've hyper-fixated over through the years. Hence the Kiss videos, but really I'm a total pantser this year, so I'm just trying to get videos up, period. I haven't thought it through that much, but in any case, Abby, I really liked your theme of just sort of talking to and talking about younger Abby. You mentioned that you're always sort of blaming younger Abby for not doing the things the way that you would now, because you've learned and changed as a person, I suppose. We all look back on our younger selves and cringe, But yeah, you made the really cool point that younger Abby made possible everything you do and built the person that you are now. That was really cool. And I stopped and thought a fair bit about what you said about in a recent video. You talked about buying gifts for your younger self, like you'll be like, oh, I shouldn't spend this money on this silly thing, but you're like, but little Abby wants it. And I totally relate to that. I think I'll do a video at some point this year, not just like a little record collection video that I made, just about all the various medias that I've over collected, and totally for the same reason that when I was a kid, I would learn about all these cool things that existed. I was like, I'm going to buy that when I'm an adult. And then I became an adult, and then I bought all those things, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have bought all those things. But I really related to that. Also, Abby, Abby? Who's Abby? Also, Abby, I I made myself laugh and forgot what I was going to say. No, I did not leave a comment on your reflecting on reflection video, and I feel really bad about that. I kept trying to make one up, but I couldn't find the words to describe how open and vulnerable you were in that video, and how much it meant to me, as I'm sure it meant to all of us VEDSies, that you feel you found a supportive community with all of us. And also, ouch, when you read through, I can't speak English today, when you read through the lyrics of that song, I can see how, for you and a lot of kids who maybe didn't know that they were transgender or gender fluid, hearing that song and be like, did you write that for me? Because damn. So, yeah, no, that was very vulnerable of you and very touching. And I really enjoyed that video and was proud of you for making it. To Caleb, you seem to be taking a whole new strategy this year. You had mentioned not wanting to be on camera quite as much this year. It may change as the month goes on, but it seems you've been focusing a little on some shorter subjects. And the video that I liked most, no offense, but it was the video where you did the least in terms of like having a story and having a setup. It was just your still life video, because you framed that so perfectly. You've really got some of the most beautiful video shots of any of the fellow VEDSies so far. I mean, your videos have been very aesthetically pleasing this week. But that one, where did you come up with that idea to have the mirror obviously facing out into the sky? You had your little cocktail on the corner of it, and did it on the perfect day where there was just a little bit of a cloud cover and a tiny bit of wind to have that small amount of motion throughout that video. So I was mesmerized by it. I really thought that was very, very cool. I enjoyed yesterday learning about your, what did you call it? Vineyard Solitaire, the little game you made. You were talking about being alone a lot, but not lonely as a kid. I was very, very much the same way. I was mostly to myself in elementary school and high school as well, mostly. About grade 9 or 10, I started to, make friends and stuff. But, yeah, so I related to that. It's cool that little game you made. I never really made any little games like that, but yeah, would have helped me pass the time a little bit better when I was young. But that was cool. It seems there's a few of us VEDSies who were kind of loners a little bit earlier in life, and not, again, like you said in your video, Caleb, not in a bad way, just in a just kind of the way we be. Jeffrey, I'm going to really enjoy unpacking some of those phrases from your everyday phrases video from yesterday. It's funny, I knew a lot of those phrases, and a couple of them I was able to identify what they were from, but a lot of them seemed just on the tip of my tongue, and I wasn't quite sure. So at some point I'm gonna watch that video back again and think about it some more. You made a video also about one of your YouTube favorites that you were mentioning you were going to rescind from your favorites list because of the whole J.K. Rowling thing. I've had some difficulties with the J.K. Rowling issue as of late. Um, I always loved the Harry Potter movies, but I had never. Sorry to go off on a tangent and talk about J.K. Rowling instead of talking more about your videos in general, but I wanted to kind of follow up on your thoughts from the video with a little bit of a sort of story. I loved the Harry Potter movies growing up, but I was one of those people who was like, yeah, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, but I had never read the books. I'm sure I've mentioned this in VEDS before. I don't really read novels. I have no idea why that is, but I've never been one to read novels, so I didn't read them. But on our tour across Canada, Leenie and I, when we were in Alberta, which is just like, I don't know, 10-20% of the way across Canada, she was like, I have all the Harry Potter audiobooks. Do you want to listen to them? And I was like, yes, absolutely. Because I'd never read the books, and, you know, we had a lot of hours to kill. We drove 17,000 kilometers, which is, I believe, over 10,000 miles. We did an insane amount of driving. And we went across Canada and back over the course of several weeks. And by the time, literally, we were 20 minutes away from my house coming back when we finished Deathly Hallows. And it was just so perfect. I can't believe we timed it out that well. Now, I felt torn about it because on the one hand, talking earlier about, like, Abby's making videos about young Abby. I was saying to, like, young me, look at that, we finally read the books. But I felt bad because I came out of that being like, now I have so much, like, more knowledge about the source material, and I would want to go out and seek out Harry Potter fans if this wasn't a few years too late for that to be, like, appropriate. I mean, it doesn't support J.K. Rowling financially. Leenie had bought those audiobooks years ago, so we weren't paying any extra money to listen to them or anything. But I'm going to be honest. I went last September or October to Universal Studios Hollywood, and I very much do not support anything J.K. Rowling has said in the media these last couple of years. I've read some of the stuff that's come out and some of the people J.K. Rowling has verbally and financially supported. And I just, it's gross and icky, and I don't like it. And it's so sad that such a cool fan base had to be a little bit semi-dismantled because of that. But, yeah, I probably did the wrong thing. I went to Universal Studios Hollywood. I totally went to the Harry Potter section. I had an amazing time. And I super lined Joanne's pockets. And she made a tweet that week where somebody was like, basically, how do you live with yourself? And she said, well, the constant money flowing in doesn't hurt. And I was like, that was me. That was my own fault. Sorry about that. So I don't know. That was probably wrong. That's the thing. But again, younger me would have really wanted to go to the Harry Potter theme park. But does that make my actions right? No, not really. That was probably an oof on my part. But again, if I'm doing it today, would I do it any differently? I don't know. Because it's just so awesome. But you're supporting something so not awesome. The whole separation of art from the artist is very difficult. James, I'm going to pick my jaw up off the floor from the amazing Jonathan Freeman interview that you were able to give us. Yeah, the Cameo thing. I felt the same way about Cameo, that there's been people who I've been fans of that are on there where I just have thought about getting it. I know people tend to use cameos as gifts for others. Like, it tends to be sort of a, oh, it's my friend's birthday, can you tell them happy birthday type thing. But you have showed exactly what I wanted to do with Cameo, and in my opinion, my favorite usage of it, which is to just ask little interview questions, within reason, of course. Sometimes if a celebrity hasn't talked about a certain aspect of their life in the past, it's because they don't necessarily want to. But in your case, you were able to ask him a question about something that, me not knowing too much about him, that I'm sure would be a great pride in his life. To play Jafar on Broadway for 6 to 8 years and to talk about the challenges associated with that. You could tell he was really thrilled that you would be interested in that side of his career. And he probably enjoyed making that video a little bit more than the, hey, Tommy, happy birthday. Here's, I'm Jafar. Hey, how are you? Hope you're having a good whatever birthday. You know, I'm sure he had more fun with that. Just an excellent use of Cameo that we got the chance to sort of benefit off of getting some of his insight and wisdom. So that was very, very cool. And I hope you have fun at that convention you said you were going to. I'm also stoked about you turning your riffing on commercial series into, well, turning it into a bit of a series. Excited to see where you go with that one. And I also look forward to the other Disney serial that you're going to review a little bit later. Yeah, that was fun. I didn't know about all these new Disney serials, but I'm glad to be hearing about them. I think that covers everybody. Doing quick math in my head, yes, that is all of the wonderful fellow VEDSies that I'm aware of. Again, if there's any other of you, please let us know. But we will continue to make a video every day this month. I'm going to head out early in the morning and go do 2 Alive and Kissin gigs in 2 different cities this weekend in the interior of BC. Pretty weird but crazy and fun job that I have here. Yeah, thanks so much for watching this long video. Shocker, Graham made another long video. I feel bad for making all my videos so long. With VEDS, I understand that you guys who are watching my videos every day this month, it's quite the time commitment. Sorry about that, and I'll alleviate that slightly by stopping talking about it. Thanks so much. I'll see y'all again tomorrow.